Yes,
Is
of
it the
course,
same
of
in
course.
Europe? Like, yeah.
Of course, yes.
Okay, are we doing good? Hopefully.
What
Okay, okay, that should be good.
do
So,
is we can make it start, yeah?
oh, okay, that's good. That's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the hatsu. Okay, so that's the
Yes.
thing.
Okay.
So this is called hatsu. Gyo-hatsu in Japanese. Gyo means practice.
Mm-hmm.
Hatsu means this. And this is the only thing we call hatsu, Buddha's ball.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the Buddha's ball, and this is what the Theravada monks carry. Except they have like a metal one, so it won't break.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Buddha's ball.
Mm-hmm.
You have to differentiate this from the rest
Mm-hmm.
of the balls. Typically we don't use this for the dinner time. We have only breakfast and lunch. We follow the Theravada tradition of Vinaya tradition, even in Japanese Buddhism. So this is we use this for the formal meal as the monks in Sri Lanka or India. So that's the same thing. And then for the dinner, we're not supposed to have them, but now we do, and that's contributed to the factors that we were quite, labor-centered, and people needed extra energy and all that. So we call this that we use for on unofficial meals, ikkun, nikun, sankun, shikun. I think we call it shikun, but anyway, we call this kun. This is hatsu. Not that you need to know all this.
Okay.
But this is the differentiation you make. So you have to differentiate this ball from the rest of them. In Toshoji, I realized, so the way we learn in Eiheiji, we take out the first two, place it, and then we take this. So we have 1, 2, 3 sets. This is for breakfast. Sorry, I'm supposed to make some. Same with lunch. And now for the yakuseki or the dinner, it's not supposed to be there. So what we do is we take this out. Oh, so actually for dinner, what we do is instead of taking these 2 out, we take 1 out, second smallest, third smallest, put this aside, and then we use just kun. So we won't be touching the Hatsu, the Buddha's ball, and this is what we use. At Toshoji temple, they follow the Zuyoji style, which is, some people say, a little more traditional than Eiheiji. That means they use all this ball. So what they do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when they eat druo, they don't actually eat it right off like Eiheiji or Sojish people do. They scoop up and they use this ball. So actually, we don't use the ball itself.
So that's actually container.
Yeah.
And they take it out and put
It seems like, yeah, you get to see this. Now, as I'm dealing with this, you realize I'm using these fingers, holding from inside, so that you will make least sound. So this is how we touch, and then we hold the ball like this. 3 fingers, 3 fingers. And so here's the audio key. Set. You place it here. This is a cloth audio key. Now, this is for the knees. Cover your cloth. What you do, place this aside. You hold, the cloth is on your knee like this. When you fold it, just like the kimono you were holding, if you don't fold it right way, you get the wrong fold. So that you won't be able to open it up properly. You let your right hand go underneath, hold the bottom, and then hold this. So already it's folded in a different way. And what you do is, with a robe, you don't like this. With this one, you go 3 fold. So you want to be probably ironing as it is, and then when you this way, when you place it, you flip it and place it. So when you go and take this cloth, all you have to do is hold these 2 edges, then you can place it like this. There's no twisting, just you can place it like this. There's just no unnecessary movement involved. So 3 fold, and then flip it and place it like this. Next time you open it, hold this end and this end. Place it.
It's so economical.
So ideally, the Zen people can do everything quickly, again in theory, because there is no unnecessary movement involved. Just like no chatting, no unnecessary thinking. There's nothing superfluous involved, like any movement. So Oryoki is a little bit definitely like whole embodiment of that. Total elimination of additional thing. This is what I do. No, this is what I think. No, get rid of all that. But until you master this, you kind of stumble because you don't really see the point. Like you kind of But anyway, it's 3 fold. Turn this. That's how it goes. Now underneath, I believe it goes this one here. With this one, I'll explain it later. Chopstick and spoon goes in here, and you fold it this way, and then this goes this way. So it dries up, and of course I have this personal doubt about this way because this stays wet in a climate in Japan. You can see it's mold. Yeah. So my question is, why can't we do this? Why does it go this? This is still my question. Because if you this, then
Yes.
right? But whatever the reason is, it's this way.
Yes.
And then I forgot the hattan. So the item is, of course, this is spoon is saji, right? Hashi, chopsticks. And this wiping thing we call this setsu. And this is mizuita, water board. And then why it's there, what I heard was when you make traveler's bag, it goes on top of the kesagori. So this is like a shield from the rain. But now it's supposed to go up. So this just comes here, and it's just there. And the hattan, I'll again explain it later. The use of hattan, there's a certain direction it needs to be placed. So it's right there on top of this bowl. When you open this, you follow this edge. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this edge. And just this edge, and then open. And I use this. Now, I forgot to mention this. So this goes on top. So the Oryoki set, you have this thing at the bottom. You have this hattan on the top. Western Zen practitioners, most of the people I've seen are not using hattan. I think that's because they might start using this, but I haven't seen them starting using it many places. It keeps the cloth from getting wet.
Yes.
So again, little ironing would probably help when you find this. Oh, sorry. So with this way.
So what I want to ask you is when I iron it, look, the iron is actually here behind, and I wanted to see a couple other things also up there on top. So when I iron, should I iron in the grease or should I iron
Grease?
it? Yes.
With a crease, I think it's better to.
No, it's easier,
yeah.
no?
It'll help you.
Yes.
If you make it completely flat, then yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So again, this is just a way. I'm
Mhm.
sure. Usually, I like it when people just kind of play with it. So that's why I like when you use this at Zen Shuji Temple. And then, but the tricky side is you kind of start to develop your own habit. And then at Toshoji Temple, what I saw, nobody is kind of checking each other. Nobody's shouting, doing this. Hey, you did it wrong. You did it wrong. I didn't see that happening. Maybe it happens in early days when you get there, but that's what's supposed to happen because you'll never learn this properly.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I think you need a constant a correction to
Mhm.
get you on track.
Right. Even this last folding, you have a certain manner, like you place your hands like this, place it like this. I mean, after a certain point, you forget this, and then. So I don't do this anymore. There's an intricate way of doing things, but as long as you do it like this, then the next time you do this like this, right? All you have to do is just hold this with 2 fingers. Hold this. 1, 2. 1. And then again, 3 folds. 3 folds is a typical thing. Roll, you do it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Rakesa is like this. But then with the cloth with audio, you do 3 folds.
Mm-hmm.
Place it on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see everyone doing this because they do it on the table. I saw some people doing it on the right side. You unfold this by placing 1, 2. Same thing when you open the rakesa. This method is common. So 1, 2, hold this, place it on your knee. 1, 2, then you do this.
Bow.
You don't have to bow, actually, sorry.
Bow. How to say, if you do only this, you just...
It's the thing. Some people say there's a certain order. It's just you do this. Next thing is, again, it has a shape. So I said some people just kind of do it like this, but anyway, open this, and you hold this bottom part. What you need to be careful is this thing.
Yes.
Because you always forget it was there. And sometimes if you leave this slightly wet, because it's this, like a drop of soup or something drops, you wipe it, but still a little bit wet. So you hold it, you can hold it like this, sometimes attached to the bottom. I don't know how many times you hold it up there and it falls. And you hear the sound, like in the entire hole. And that happens, you go around the hall bowing. Sorry for the lack of my attention. So always this bottom part. And this is a good lesson for us because many other Buddhist items are designed this way. Like I don't know how many times I dropped the Buddhist items, whether it's a book holder or incense, like a stole. Everything is designed in a way that if you hold the top part, everything crumbles. You have to go all the way to the bottom and hold it from the bottom. So it's interesting. That's just how it's designed. Yeah.
Yes.
So even with the vandalism that happened, I think this boy didn't realize that, when they tried to smash it, actually it's designed to disassemble itself. So it came apart.
Yeah.
In a sense, that's why we didn't really have damage from it.
Yes.
So again, this is the same thing. You always hold from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to say, I want to say, because Toshoji does things differently. What they did, if it's 3, you hold this first two. So it's tricky because you can't just do this. Slip this, hold this, one, two. And when the third one goes, you see how did I put this? Hold it like this. You can hold hand over like 3 fingers. You move it a little bit and slide it in between. That's 3-ball style. And then if I emulate what I learned a little bit from Toshoji, they do things differently. I think it goes like this: 1, 2, 3. They use 5 balls.
And
So-
actually, that's not being used. Or you put in food.
This is you
and
put in food, yeah, but then you kind of scoop it up. You don't even turn it so much.
what kind of food is going in here? Do I
Right.
have to know and hold up the correct
So,
one?
At Toshoji, what they do is no, people don't come in front of you, and you don't do it. So it's not like the way you experience in Zen Shuji. What you do, you hand it over to the person. The person hand it over all the way to the end of the table, and you're kind of watching it being served. So when somebody's serving you rice and the soup, you just keep your hands, and then you watch at the end of the table serving how many scoops you like. And you go like this. You know, and this is how we send a gesture. Some people like it this, but I think it's mean, and I don't personally like it. So just do it, so that person can understand that that's enough. And you wait for the ball to come back. And if you're sitting in the middle, you're just handing it over the ball in the middle.
Yes.
That's their method.
Sure.
The same with the ball, you hand it over. And other small stuff, they bring the tables, hand it over to us. So you serve to yourself, sub next person. I think it depends.
Right.
If it's, I noticed even Docho Roshi was serving himself. So we see if people are serving each other, you serve yourself. So that was a little more casual than even what you saw at Zanshuji Temple.
Yeah.
So this is how it goes. Then this will remain, and what you do with this, you open this, push, so you do this at the chest level. You push the whole thing like this. Then you start with a chopstick and place it like right here. By the way, the Japanese culture, if you ask Yachiro-san, it goes this way. If you look at the chopstick in the restaurant, it's from, this side is on the left. That's a regular Japanese culture. In monastic culture, you don't have the unnecessary movement. So take it out and then place it right here. It's the other way. And then spoon. I believe it's this side facing down. Then the setsu goes all the way around. Right here in the middle. Because in the lunch, we place like a grain of rice on top of here. I'm not sure if you experienced that at Zenshuji. So this is the movement. Again. If you have a chance, I suggest you review it. Because the Toshoji gets a little wishy-washy. I don't mind, just experience whatever you experience at Toshoji. If you want the refinement, you can come back.
Yes, oh sure.
Yeah, I didn't want to push this all, but we get pushed to do this in the first place. So it's like this. So you place it just like this. It's like a sword. Place it towards yourself. Again, chopsticks. By the way, it's not completely flat. Kind of slide down toward the ball. Spoon. And sits. This one, you fold this. And you place it underneath this. You just keep this in case it gets dirty. You almost never use it. And then during the chanting, you'll notice, well, toward the end of the chanting, after summing the bowl, start chanting, you can follow. You place it here. 一区異断一切約二区出世前三区移動諸種上海宮成仏道 hold this again with 3 fingers and then the manner is before you put some of them goes Oh. Again, so in Eiheiji, with this 1, 2, 3, always 3. Did Kojima-sensei teach?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, so 3. Toshoji, I did notice that you do this. Scoop it up, eat it like this. That's what I saw. So that's the Yoji style. And then you eat it from here. And because we have European practitioners, Brazilian practitioners, some of them are not miso soup, some of like Western, the tomato soup.
Yes.
And we're not supposed to use too much of a greasy stuff. If you're ever gonna do tenzo, you really need to keep in mind, if you put too much grease, you're basically ruining the oryoki. And sometimes you can never use it again. This is like $600 thing. So if you use grease, let alone meaty stuff, then it just messes up the whole thing. When you have a greasy like stuff, you can't possibly put it here. You have a separate plate. And that's what you put. Yeah. So you need to keep those things in consideration. You can differentiate it. So eggs, for example, they have a different plate with a little dressing and stuff. So you don't mix this up with here. Seen in Eiheiji, I think it happened twice. They used too much sesame oil, and we only use this, and we only rinse it. You can't wash it. So you have to keep in mind that we don't have a chance. And if there are animal proteins, cheese, dietary things, food poisoning would be the thing, everyone. So you can, the meal might be okay, but what remains there can cause a food poisoning there. So that's...
And it clogs this also then with the fat, and you cannot use it after. It's
you know, in the worst
smeary.
case, Tenzo serves something. I'm sure that you have others who will be pointing out, no, you can't do that. That's too dangerous. This isn't the war that you are there, right? If they think it's too dangerous, we scoop it and then we wash it. But usually we don't have time to wash it. So again, it's just something. It's different out there in that world from this world. So, and then when you eat, you bow, use 2 hands, then hold with 2 hands, hold with 3 hands. Get it close, eat it like this. So you're not quite finger pointing at others. I don't know how many times we did that as a kids. No, we don't do that. So we're pointing it this way. I think Japanese people are even very careful with this thing too, whether it's a scissors or needle, point it to ourselves. And the same thing too. All this. If you eat it directly, I don't think it's happening, but then again, same thing. If it's this way, use it. Use something like this. The same thing. And when your mouth full of mouth, like you just kind of chill like this, you can watch others. It went fairly quickly. So people are just freaking out the idea of second serving. You can get a teeny bit, but if you're not confident, you kind of do it slow. If you want the serving, what you do is, maybe Kojima-sensei shared this with you, you can't do anything about this, but you can leave a little bit, because usually it always goes with first round, second round. You lick it, place it. If you still have rice, you don't want the second serving, just leave it here. You can just receive the food, the soup. If you want the rice as well, lick it, place it. And then once you get the serving, you place it right back. With breakfast, it's just rice gruel. So what you do after you're done eating is you lick the edge. You can try. Then you bow with one hand, put it vertically. This is horizontal. Vertically, place it. Then put it, and then take this. Or, I'm sorry, this is a sorry. Or you can just lick it right here. I think that this is how I do. And you take this with a hand. Now with the rice gruel, it's water,
Yes.
so you can just what do you call it? Scrape it off,
Yeah.
and all the way to the end. At the session, so I'm grateful that Zenshu does it as Shuji. You do this, you do this. And sometimes people do this with the ball too. In principle, we don't do that because there's too much greasy stuff sometimes. That's why it's differentiated. There are side dishes. You can watch how others do. That's why this needs to be changed at least once every 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's like using a spoon that's
Yes.
never been washed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
then when you're done, you pour the water, and then kind of clean. When you clean it, so this is a specific matter. You clean the inside. You use this, because you're using the 3 fingers. It's wet. You don't want to drop it, so use it like this. Pour this.
Yes.
Sometimes it's messy. Yeah, you can do
Yes.
this. Use this, and place it. And I'm just gonna show you this way, just like this. Use the side. Sometimes you get enough water, so this side is a little bit dipped, and you clean the other side as well. To make sure that you hold it with the fingers and this, so it won't fall down. Side, like this.
Yeah. No, you can't come out.
And then
yeah.
you kind of drop. Yeah, do
Yes.
this. So it's this way, and this is the moment you fold this cloth. So what you do is just hold one corner, and then do this. Naturally, make a triangle. Just the one corner. Place it on top. Use this. So it goes like this.
I want to ask you something quickly. You clean the big bowl immediately after you cleaned it, or you clean everything first and then start drying it?
No, you have to dry as you wash.
I see.
Right.
Each
Each
one.
part, yes, because you have to start piling them up.
Yes.
So as soon as you wash it, this is a specific order. Because if it's wet, I'll give you the reason why we have to dry it right away. If it's all wet, you put it back, it sticks together, and then you're leaving all the wet stuff. It just gets messy,
Of course.
splash all over. So again, Zen, there's nothing unnecessary. If you do this, you're making this mess.
Yes.
And everything has to, it has to happen in this specific order. So it gets dry. As I mentioned, a lot of people forget to dry this part. I don't know how many times I've seen people not forget to dry this part. So you dry this, but it also makes you dry this part. If it's even a teeny bit wet, you place it, it sticks to the bottom.
Yes.
And that's how you drop this thing. Then what you do is this slightly wet cloth, you place it in here. Make sure one end is here. Next thing is you clean the spoon this way. One side, the other side. Just a couple of times. Place it this way. Use this end. Turn it around to yourself. And push it toward yourself. Now usually it's placed like this way. So you place it right here. The chopsticks is the same. Together. Sorry. You know what happened to this? It's a little short. I think I was so upset at one of the meals, I bit it off. so this is a sign of how upset I was. So here you go. You can kind of turn it like this. Then place it yourself. So this end is facing yourself. Same thing. Place it this way. While you turn this, you turn it yourself and you push it to yourself. In reality, we really don't have much time, so just kind of wash it. but this is how, and then place it this way.
Right.
When these two are together, you can hold this, and then you can kind of drop it and place it like this. Push it back. So all it has to take at the end is this. Now what's left is the other ball. So what you do is, let's see, you clean this ball, right? Then use 3 fingers, hold it like this. So you won't be falling. And then we switched it, we place it in the middle, and then you hold it like this. You pour it to yourself. So you won't be pouring like this. Again, the idea is we're not really risking pouring to other people.
Right.
So just toward yourself. Then you clean the bottom. Like. Then you place it this time sideways. This is probably possible too. The reason why we place it sideways specifically because we don't have an end. It's a table using a toshoji, so I think it'll be okay. But when you do it, because it's a shallow bowl, there's a risk that's gonna fall off.
Yes.
So we were instructed to keep this sideways. I saw people. I didn't get to see how everyone's doing a toshoji. They probably learn it in all different traditions. People probably do it differently. It's just a little thing. And then again, it's wet. So what you're gonna do with the water dipping, you hold this end like this, and you cover this up. So the drip is not falling all over.
Right.
The bottom. So you're using this all crumped up in this fist, and then you use it's like this. And this is the part that I never knew because we didn't line it this way. So all I could do was just, okay, what am I supposed to do? So I kind of washed it this way. You don't want to pour it because there's too much water in it.
Yes.
So I couldn't figure out how. So you can ask toshoji people, but now this is, I don't feel quite qualified to teach you because this is the Oji style. What I could figure out was wash it and again dry it. So it's it. Oh no, I couldn't do this because it needs to go in there.
Yeah.
So I put it back.
Yes.
What did I do? Oh yes, and just washed it. Is there anybody who trained at Zyoji? Like in France, he's trained in Zyoji. So I will ask him one day. He can probably coach me.
Let me ask you, at the end is one ball that has everything in there from the cleaning of it, and you drink.
Yeah, everything is in here. Everything is in here. And then at this point, you kind of clean this bowl. So this one, just one end sticking up. You don't want to go like this. Just ideally, just one sticking. Do this. And of course, I always had a question about this edge. What am I gonna do? Just do this, but you just do your best. Because that's where we have takuan, tsukemono, because have there. And then you do 1, 2, and squeeze it as much as you can. There's only so much you can do.
Right.
Again, the same thing. Try and push it yourself. And then this goes like right in here. That's where it's coming from. Now with this, gashi, senpa, suinyoi, kanromi, so there's a ball that passed around. Nobody comes in front of you. What you do is hold it, and then again 3 fingers. 3 fingers. And then the ball, what you do is you cover this, pour this toward yourself. There's actually a bucket. So you don't like do this, kind of toward yourself a little bit. And then there's a little bit, teeny bit, even the drip is still there. And then you drink it. And you can see a little bit stuff there. But don't mind. It's just kind of
Yeah.
And then it's one hand like this. So that you use the medicine and its pinky to hold it. You still have the 3 fingers.
Yeah.
So 1, this one goes here.
Mhm.
Then before you hold it, use 3 fingers to hold it. Clean it. 1, 2, 3. Move it to the right. 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. You place in the center. It's holding this. 3 fingers. Hold this bottom up, not just this. From the bottom, so you cannot stick your fingers all the way to the bottom.
Right.
Lift this, slide it off, place it in the center. Next thing is this 3-fold. Flip it over. This whole set goes on top. Again, this is toward yourself. And this. And in some places, they say fold it in half. Some places, like maybe Kojima Sensei, just because it's easier for it to dry up. Just show.
Yeah, that's the way he had it. Yeah.
Right. That's just the
Yes.
way.
Yes.
So again, this entire process of opening and closing. Place it on top. The entire set off. You find this edge, like kesa. You don't actually fold it like this because usually there's no end, it's the edge. But in the table, we do it this way. This edge. No, it's fine. Difficult. This edge. Place it in the middle. Move it to the side. Chopstick, spoon, sets to wipe. Hold it, goes underneath. Sit, place it, sit, sit. When you're done, lick it. Clean the whole thing. And when you're done, right toward the end, so this is all clean, wiped, and there's a hot water now. You receive the hot water like this. Clean it. Try the whole thing. Bottom. Next thing. Next thing is the spoon. Use this edge. Turn it around. Push it through yourself. Chopstick. Sideways. Turn it around, push it yourself. Then at this point, you want this to the other side because you need to put this later. So what you do is drop it. This. Clean it. Hold this. Pour this over. Clean this up. Both sides. So again, because we wash the other side and the other side gets wet, we don't put it back.
We have to try it.
If it's outside is dry, there's an idea of placing it back on. But because we're washing the whole bowl inside and outside, that's just one. Yeah, it won't be a practical solution. And here's the thing, usually you would kind of wash it, that's it, but because they use this bowl, so I'm just making it work. And I eat there, so you have to ask somebody who knows the way. And you clean it, squeeze it. Oh, sorry, it goes this way. At least it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to drink this, pour it, drink it before you put it back on. Because when you use the cloth, you want to be holding one end like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you make sure that's 1 point fingers, 1 point stick.
So it was out, yes. Mm-hmm.
You place it this out and then hold it. Place the center diagonally up like this. 1, 2. So 1, 2, and it's like a calligraphy thing. Your hands go straight in here. Pull this out, trifold, and then turn it around. And goes in here. And this goes. And this.
Beautiful, yes.
Yeah, so can kind of I've shared this with Canadian friends too, and other students. It gets blurry, like you know, you notice I don't know those two small bowls what to do, so that's the part I have to ask some qualified practitioner who done the Zyuoji tradition, what to do with this. So maybe when I update this, I'll make another video. So I'll stop it here. Is it good? Okay. Here you go. Yeah, and my